Hi, I'm Sam Tsui. I'm a musician, singer, YouTuber, and one of the authors and the illustrator of Why Do We Sing?
I'm Breves. I'm a singer, songwriter, and co-author of this book that explores the magic and joy of vocal music. We are so excited to be collaborating with Crayola on this Art of Learning session.
So singing can be fun on your own, when you're just hanging out at home, in the shower. I like to sing in the shower, walking down the street, but singing is especially fun when you do it with other people and you sing in a big group, in a big choir. That's one of my favorite kinds of singing.
Sam and I actually met singing together in the same a cappella group in college. And an a cappella group is a choir with no instruments, so it's just voices. So it's people creating a whole song with just their voices, which is so much fun. And that was our first singing experience. Together.
That's pure singing. You don't got a band. The voices are the band in that kind of singing, which is a lot of fun. And it can be like a fun challenge to make a whole band with just people's voices. And when you get that harmony sounding perfect, it's so rewarding and so cool. So if you ever get the chance to do a cappella singing,
it's
definitely
so fun.
Check it out.
And we've been singing together ever since.
Yeah. And a cappella singing too also teaches you a lot about music and how to arrange a song and put it all together, because when you're only using your voices, that's kind of all you got. And so it's allowed us to learn so much just about music in general and music theory. And as we've approached other genres, I think it's been really fun to have that a cappella background. And speaking of different genres, we have, of course, this book, Why Do We Sing, features all of these different global vocal traditions. And we were lucky enough to also get to record a companion album soundtrack to the book, also called Why Do We Sing.
It's so much fun. Each song is inspired by one of the spreads, one of the illustrations in the book. So we have a song that is inspired by Bollywood, which is based on this beautiful Bollywood scene right here. We have a mariachi-inspired song. We have opera, campfire song, a car song. All of these different ways and situations that people sing inspired us to create a full album exploring those.
So we figured, since this book is about singing, and as we mentioned, there's a soundtrack album, we would be remiss not to share a little song with you all, if that's okay. So this song we're going to sing is from that album. It's called The Greatest Ever Campfire Song. And like we said, each song is inspired by a different genre. And one of our favorite kinds of songs is the classic campfire song. The ones you sit around the fire playing the guitar. It just feels so good. And it's such a great way to build community. So we wanted to write a song that paid homage to all of our favorite campfire songs. So you ready, Casey?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Are you ready to sing The Greatest Ever Campfire Song?
Ready!
Okay, let's do it. Come on, we're going camping in the woods the whole night long.
And as long as we're prepared, there's not a thing that can go wrong.
And the best part of the night is when we sing out big and strong. Sing all together
the greatest ever campfire song.
It goes like this. Na 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 na.
Wait! What about the tent?
Oh, yeah. I guess we should pitch the tent first.
The most important thing to do is find the perfect spot.
Put in your poles and grommets, drive the stakes in, tie a knot.
Before we gather around the fire to harmonize, we've got to pitch the tent.
Pitch the tent.
And only then can we sing together the greatest ever campfire song.
Okay, let's do it.
Na 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 na. Na, 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 na.
Wait! What about the bears?
Bears?
Yeah, don't we have to check for bears first?
Okay, sure.
Whew. First turn on your flashlight, shine it left and shine it right.
Bears can hide out anywhere around this time of night.
And bears might want to steal our snacks, so keep them out of sight.
Right!
Check for bears.
Check for bears.
Then pitch the tent.
Pitch the tent.
And only then can we sing together
the greatest ever campfire song.
All right.
Na 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 na. Wait, what about the s'mores?
Oh, you're right. You can't sing on an empty stomach.
Yeah, we'll toast up some marshmallows till the inside turns to goo.
Ooh, don't forget the chocolate and some nice graham crackers too.
Put it all together and that's all you've got to do to make the s'mores.
Make the s'mores.
Check for bears.
Check for bears.
Pitch the tent.
Pitch the tent.
And only then can we sing together the greatest ever campfire song.
Okay, for real now.
Na 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 na.
Wait, what about the fire?
Oh yeah.
We've done so much preparing now, the fire's getting low.
So gather up some branches that'll burn up nice and slow.
No place I'd rather be than right here,
Singing in the glow. So feed the fire,
feed the fire,
make the s'mores,
make the s'mores,
check for bears,
check for bears,
pitch the tent,
pitch the tent,
fire,
fire,
s'mores,
s'mores,
bears,
bears,
tent,
tent.
Only then can we sing together the greatest ever campfire song.
Finally!
Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Wait, what about the
Let's sing together
the greatest ever campfire song?
So Casey and I, of course, love to sing, and singing is a way to express your voice. And in a similar way, art and drawing and any kind of visual art is a way to express your visual voice. Ever since I was a little kid, I loved making art. I loved drawing, and actually creating this book, Why Do We Sing, was the first time I was able to finally put that into a big project. And so it was really fun for me. And I thought, since I've got you today and we're here with Crayola, I would give you a little art demo. So there's lots of illustrations in this book, Why Do We Sing, of lots of different characters, but what I thought I would teach you today is how to make notes. So in the book, Why Do We Sing, there are lots of music notes, I can even show you here, to kind of show that these characters are singing, because, you know, obviously in a picture, you can't hear them singing. So I've got a lot of little notes going on here to help you understand that these characters are singing. So I figured I would teach you how to make music notes so that if you want to draw your characters singing, you have a way to express that in a visual language. I pre-did a little illustration here of an opera singer. She's featured in the book as well. Of course, opera is a style of singing in which you sing very big and loud and use technique to sing to the people in the back row. And she's dressed up as a Viking because there's a very famous opera by Wagner, which includes a Valkyrie who are dressed as Vikings. So the first kind of note I'm going to teach you is a quarter note. Now, this is one of the most standard notes. If you're thinking about notes, you probably have seen this. Most notes start with a note head. So in this case, it's going to be a little oval. And of course, I'm using a nice dark Crayola blue here. You start with an oval. It's usually kind of slanted up to the right like that. And then on the right side, you're going to make a little stem there. So this is kind of your most basic note here, and you can go over it to add some thickness to the stem. And kind of the rule with notes a lot of the times is that they're always going to be slanted up and to the right. So right, you can see this oval's pointing up that way, and if I wanted to do the note upside down, which I can, I would still make that oval going the same way up and to the right, and this time I would put the stem on the left side. So as you can see, they kind of both feel like they're going that way a little bit. And there's a lot of other fun stuff we can do even with a simple quarter note here. I can make two notes and connect them with a little tie like that. That's something you can do to show that she's singing a longer note here. I can even make one and add what we call an accidental. I can put a little sharp on it. And that means that that note is going to be a little higher than it would be if it didn't have that on it. So as you can see, even with this one simple form of note, there's a lot of different ways we can go about depicting it. So that's a quarter note. Next, we have our little friend playing the guitarron. He's probably in a mariachi band. He's got the very cool mariachi suit and hat. And for him, I want to give him some eighth notes. Now, eighth notes are kind of like quarter notes, but they're half as long. So these notes go a little faster. For every one quarter note, you get two eighth notes. And we're going to use, we'll use this nice little reddish color to complement his fancy little tie here. So an eighth note is going to start similarly to the quarter note. We've got our little note head. It's like that little oval. And we're going to make the same kind of stem going up from it. But what's going to make this special, I love doing these, is this little squiggly line that goes on it. And that suddenly makes this an eighth note. So that means that this note is half as long. And I like these. I use a lot of these in the book because even though the quarter note is cool, these look really pretty. You know what I mean? They've got the nice swoosh to them. It's a similar thing where if we're doing it that way, now our stem's going to go there, and we're going to go like that. So I think the moment you see this, you're like, oh yeah, that's what a note looks like. If we put two of these together, we give them this little bar like that. And this probably, if you think of note, this is what the kind of the most iconic note. When we're drawing little notes, it's that double with the bar on top. So definitely, look, this illustration went from this guy playing the guitar. Was he singing? I don't know. And suddenly when you fill the air around him with music notes that actually look like music notes, it starts to bring the scene alive, and we kind of can feel the energy and understand what he's singing. Okay, I'll teach you one more kind of note if we got time for it. And let's have some fun. Let's use some of these bold and bright colors, because this is a gospel singer. So I want the notes representing her music to be bold and bright. And now, even though I'm showing you the ways to make these notes, we can still be really expressive with the way that we draw them. Because again, art and making illustrations on the page is telling a story, and we can express kind of the energy in a lot of different ways. So let's see, for her, I'll do a whole note. This is the longest note, and this is easy. If you were having trouble with those previous ones, this is going to be your easiest one, because it's basically a circle. That's a whole note. That means she's holding that note out for a full measure, and sometimes to make it look like a little more than a circle, you'll put a line through it, and that just shows where it is on the staff. So that's also a note. So we can make these big notes showing that she's holding these long, long notes. And like we put that accidental before, we can put a little sharp on that one to show that it's a little different. We can put a flat there, and we can even make an accent on one, and that shows she's hitting it really strong. This is the simplest way to make a note, and you can absolutely do that. It's called a whole note, and it basically is just a bit of an extended oval. And if we want, we can put little lines coming from her showing that she is creating these notes with her voice. And again, instantly it takes her from, what is she doing? Is she just happy, to we now can kind of understand if we're seeing it. Even if you don't know notes and can't read music, now you can kind of imagine what she might be singing like. So now let's put everything we've learned together and do a little illustration. Actually, let me use some glitter crayons on this one, because I like glitter, and music makes me feel excited and sparkly. So in our book, a lot of the times, to show the energy and the direction of the music, I started with kind of this squiggly, wavy cloud to show that the music is drifting and floating, because sometimes when you're hearing music, you can almost feel it flowing through the air. So I think that's going to help give this a lot of energy. Oh, and of course, this is me and Casey and our lovely daughter, Elia. We are featured throughout the book, so I figured this was the perfect illustration to put together all that we've learned. So let's start with a nice purple quarter note or two here. Let's do one of those tied ones like we talked about. Let's give an accidental to that one. So in a lot of these scenes, it's really about just kind of combining all the different techniques. Add a little sparkly blue here and do some of our eighth notes. Let's put one of those with that nice little fun swirl there. Boop, boop, boop. And finally, let's pick a final color. Maybe, what do you guys think? Maybe, I kind of like this red. We'll make it pop. Let's put some of those whole notes here. Let's put an accent on that one. There we go. Let's do one more final one there. They're flat. There we go. So there you have it. Again, I think that something like this takes this from a picture that says, what are they doing? Are they talking? Are they laughing? And suddenly putting these notes and kind of understanding the basics of how notes look can help you tell a more clear story and say, oh, these people are singing and they're clearly creating this beautiful music, and it's fun and energized and colorful. And once you have mastered these techniques, there's a lot of ways that you can play with these forms and play with these shapes to tell your own musical story in the form of an illustration. So go out and sing some music, but also draw some people singing some music. I hope that was helpful. That is it for today. Thank you so much for joining us to talk about why do we sing, to make a little music, to do a little art. We have had the best time, and we are just so excited to be able to share all of this with you.
We hope you remember that singing is for everybody. Singing is for you. And we encourage you to go and find a choir, write a song, play the guitar and sing in your car, sing in the shower. Singing is something that can help us connect to everyone around us in the world.
And so can art. So thank you for drawing along with me as well. And be sure to check out other Art of Learning videos that encourage you to draw, express yourself, use your creative voice. We're going to go write a song. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.